And we're back.
There you go.
Okay,
I just wanted to show that I still mess up the things that I messed up before. I was trying to be so helpful. There we go. There we go.
That's for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome back.
So we're on the air right now, and we can do a thing with just the switch of a thingy.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
And I leave this one up all the time.
Listen to how the people love us.
And this one I keep down.
It's not the people's, so.
I feel like I thank you. Thank you all.
They love us.
Thank you.
They love
Thank
us.
you. Thank you. I'm Rob. With me as always. Well, it's not fair. Actually, you should do this part because I've been gone so long.
Welcome back to Lights Camera Cleveland on Whoop FM 99.9. This is Lights Camera Cleveland, the all-movie show on Whoop FM. I am the Hollywood Slinky. Joining me, not as normal, my stalwart traveling companion, Rob Alderman.
It makes me sad that we can no longer say as always. With me as always.
The time is returning.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Also joining us this evening is AMC Mike.
Hello, hello.
And not here tonight is the Ken Dog.
Ken Dog drove to Florida to surprise his mommy-in-law. Man, so much has changed. So much has changed since I've been gone.
Yeah.
Not all of it good.
It's incredible. Look at the way AMC Mike lowered the ceiling and put in track lights.
I did. I was like, I am done with this.
You
It's
painted
amazing.
the wall over
I
here.
did.
We got new offices back here.
Yeah.
AMC Mike is very productive.
She has been the queen of the radio gala ball since you've been gone. But none of this changes the
Wait,
fact.
Ken Dog
but
is
does that
normally
mean,
the
like,
queen, not me.
Does that mean like he takes away my crown? Like,
Negative.
the way you made that sound was like I'm losing it.
No, but
I was.
It doesn't mean he takes away your crown, but it does mean he picks a topic. Ready?
Yes.
Go.
Casey Kasem madness!
What is up with that?
This thing is crazy. It's crazy sauce.
Like zoinks, who will do my voice now?
For those of you who don't know, Casey Kasem is missing.
It's the weirdest thing.
What?
Casey Kasem
I don't know.
has advanced Parkinson's
That's right.
disease.
Yeah, right.
And apparently his kids have been trying to see him for like a long time.
Right, and they are in a major dispute with the stepmom.
With the stepmother who doesn't want to let them see their dad.
Aw.
And so they were in court about it, and the stepmom slips and says, he's been removed from the country.
What?
So my point is, that's kind of like if we woke up one day and the Statue of Liberty is gone. You can't take Casey Kasem out of America. This is crazy.
Apparently, you can.
Well, they did. But
Casey Kasem.
hey, dude, give me that one again.
I think I just found him. Hang on.
We're up to the #1 song in the land, and our look back at 4 amazing decades, counting them down.
So here's the thing. He's been removed, and her lawyer, when he was recused rather in front of the judge, right, says, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know where he is." So literally, the only person in America who knows where Casey Kasem is Casey Kasem's wife, and his kids are in a custody battle, and now the court has appointed investigators to find him.
And she's not telling.
No, she's not telling. So I don't know. Like I guess for topic purposes, would you ever smuggle AMC Mike out of the country if Dakota wanted to see her and you didn't want her to?
I'm Casey Kasem.
I'm going to just answer everything that way tonight.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I am baffled.
We're back.
I am baffled by the fact that, it's, I know where he is. If you want to know, I can tell you. He's on board Malaysian Airlines Flight 370.
Oh, but seriously, maybe. I mean, we can't say he's not. Right? We can't say he's not.
Who's to say?
I'm
His
not.
wife.
Could that his the wicked
We only know
stepmother?
you know what's weird is she's not doing stepmothers any favor, is she?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is. Do we have any idea why why are the kids and her fighting? Do we know?
I don't know
why she won't let them see Casey.
Kasem?
Kasem?
I have tried to figure that out. And what's particularly weird is that one of the kids has some sort of conservatorship,
right?
Which is, but that's not the same as power of attorney.
Right.
And so there's like this.
So it's a power struggle, most likely, of some kind. That's
yeah.
sad.
And so no one, they've been trying to see Casey for years.
Yeah.
And
now he's gone and nobody knows where he is. And how weird is it when your attorney has to stand in front of a judge and go, "Look, Your Honor, I'm going to be honest. I don't know where he is either. I got no idea. I got nothing for you. I got nothing." And now New Year's is canceled.
That was somebody else.
How are we going to do a...
That was Dick Clark.
Oh, well, so still canceled. Oh, yeah, Casey Kasem was the radio countdown.
Right. He was the
radio
top 40.
The top 40 countdown. Yeah. And, it's top 40's all Justin Bieber anyway.
He's not a youngin'. I mean, the man is 82 years old.
Yeah.
So it clearly... and apparently, the other thing I read is that the Parkinson's is advanced and that he is unable to speak.
Yeah.
So he can't even be like, "Hey, where are you taking me?"
He can't even be like, "At number 3.
I'm Casey Kasem.
You know what I mean? He can't even do that. He can't even count down. He can't look at somebody and even say, "I'd like to go back to America."
Like when they're going through the airport, he's trying to figure out which gate he's at. He's like, "Number 4.
Yeah, he can't even do that.
Number 3.
He can't do it. That's what I'm saying. He's trapped.
Number 2.
The whole thing.
Hey, Carmi wants to know what this has to do with movies.
He was the voice of...
Please. Has everything to do with movies. Also, Carmi, you've been listening long enough to know that we don't always open with a topic about movies.
Carmi just says she wants to hear about Spider-Man, not this.
Oh, well, I talked to her about Spider-Man in person the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, I met Carmi face to face.
Well, I can tell you that the reason this has to do with
hands.
movies, the reason this has to do with movies is Casey Kasem was the voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
He was in other films too. I mean, and he was lampooned. I mean, when I say lampooned, sorry, he like
Zoinks.
Yeah, he did lots of cameos.
Yeah.
Not just
Casey Kasem.
Not just one. So Casey Kasem has been, involved in the film, in the talkies, in the movie boxies,
In the moving pictures.
Give me that one about the countdown again that you had a minute ago.
Did
you leave the page?
Away
That's okay.
That's right. I moved away to actually go see.
And Carmi doesn't need to worry because we're definitely going to talk about Spider-Man 2. For sure.
It was amazing.
Faux show.
But not spectacular.
Yeah, plus I thought her and Mr. Carmi were already going to see it. Hit her up on the chat room.
I'm asking.
I mean, he was the big thing is he was Shaggy forever, and then once he stopped doing Shaggy, and Shaggy was taken over by Matt Lillard, he started doing Colton Rogers, who was Shaggy Rogers' father.
Right, which makes sense.
I mean, he was in Ghostbusters as himself.
Yeah. He was a cultural icon, so he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we got somebody on the telephone.
Is someone calling?
You want to do this? You want to do
Sure.
this? You on the whoop? I think I hit the button. Do I need to do more than that now?
No, just click it on and turn it all the way up.
You're on the whoop.
Hello,
You're on the whoop.
I beg your pardon. I didn't realize he was Scooby-Doo's voice.
That's right. That's right. The voice of Shaggy.
Yes.
When I was, I'm very old, and I used to listen to Casey Kasem every Sunday. Well, when I wasn't at church.
I guess I'm very old, too, because I used to listen to him, too.
Or after church, or something like that.
Top 40 Countdown was legit.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Okay, it was good to meet you, Rob.
It was good to meet you.
I came home and said, guess who I met?
It was I couldn't believe it. When you first walked up, I thought, well, who is this young lady coming up to speak to me?
Sweet.
And
I met Rob! And here we watched this simulcast with Tutu and all these other people, Laura Bush, and I'm excited about meeting Rob.
I take that as a huge compliment.
Well, I was excited. That was neat, and it was a very useful seminar.
Was this?
Oh, yeah, I
Was
thought it
this
was awesome.
at LeaderCast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we met at the LeaderCast.
very good. Okay, well, continue.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, we will.
I beg your pardon. I didn't realize he was the voice of the in the Scooby-Doo.
No problem.
It's okay. Ryan needs someone to keep him honest, Carmi, so I'm glad you're there.
All right.
Because I don't.
All right, take care.
Bye.
I wasn't invited to LeaderCast. They were like, "No, you're Rob Alderman's
You know what?
sidekick.
I'm going to tell you
Rob
the truth.
Alderman leads you."
I'm going to tell
so
you
they
the
wouldn't let
truth
me
is that Ashley wasn't able to go, and so I had this extra ticket. And I was about to send you a text and say, "Hey, can you get free to come to this?" And no joke, as I was, because I was thinking about you or about Eric, and could somebody come? And I thought I'll invite him to come. Maybe he can get. And then I'm thinking I'm asking him to take an entire day off work, and he's already at work. I was trying to think, like, how do you walk in and go, "Hey, I know I'm already here, doing my job." But Rob is 20 minutes away, kind of doing this fun conference thing for the day. Could I take the whole day off? But I did. I almost did. And then what was funny is 3 or 4 people from your work walked in, not from
Right.
your department, but
Yeah.
so apparently some people from there came. And after I saw them come in, then it made me wish I had asked you because clearly they
So
don't.
who
care.
did you take instead?
No, I didn't. I didn't end up.
She just wasted a ticket.
Not on purpose. We got somebody calling in. You ready?
Yeah.
You're on the Whoop.
I'd like to welcome Rob back.
How we doing, Bullet?
I heard he's been on a honeymoon. I heard he's been remodeling his house. I don't know what he's been doing, but
All those things, sir.
is that right?
Yeah, I've been doing all of those things. I got married, and we combined for 3 kids that are all getting used to having brothers and sisters and bedtimes and all that stuff. And so this show falls squarely in the getting the kids down and ready and prepared for bedtime. And so we've been working on getting all that evened out.
Well, sir, I'm going to just welcome you back, and I missed
Thank
you.
you.
And carry on.
Thank you, sir. I missed you too, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Okay, we'll see.
Last week he
This is
called.
nice.
He actually called last week and said the show's so much better without that Rob. And now
that's
you're
also
back.
true.
And
That's
now you're
also
back. Now you're back, and he's like, "Man, I've really missed you."
Well, I think people can miss me and acknowledge the show's better without me. You know what I'm saying? We've all got that friend who makes things a little worse, but we miss him. I guess that's me. So, here's the thing is, on some level, this Casey Kasem thing is just so very weird. How do you hide a Casey Kasem? Even if he can't talk, you'd think somebody be walking past him going, "Wait a minute."
And what country? What country are you rushing him off to?
When you think about this, it's got to be, or you would hope, it's somewhere that has some sort of advanced Parkinson's.
Sure. You hope he's
treatment.
getting at least equal care.
Yeah,
that he
he's-
would here in the States.
I have read recently a study. You know how sometimes this topic becomes another. That health care, both above and below us, meaning Canada and like South America, that there are in the developed cities where there are, good medical resources, much, much, much cheaper, like by the millions of dollars cheaper care for very advanced things like this.
Right.
Something like this. In advanced Parkinson's, if you're looking at getting real treatment, you could be talking over $1 million
Right,
in
right.
treatment, right? And so some of these places, particularly this is true in cancer research, you can go get some massive cancer stuff if you can go through the trouble of making it down to South America. You know what I mean? And they say the
Right.
care is actually very good. Now, we don't think about it that way. We don't think about it that way because we just say, well, we're in America and all of our care must be
Right.
the best. And to a certain extent, that's true in terms of our healthcare systems. But they say that, like, if you can afford the care down there, you can cut it by,
Sure.
3/4.
Well, and I think if you want really good care, what you do is you walk in and you look right at the Mexican doctor and you just say,
I'm Casey Kasem.
and he'll be like, "Oh, my bad. Let's get this man the best."
This is kind of a sad and strange,
You can't do
story.
anything
There's
but
no-
make
there's
light of
nothing-
it because it's so
because
bizarre.
it's so bizarre and strange. But one good thing that's come out of it is this website that you found that can mimic Casey Kasem's
With a
voice.
Casey Kasem button.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's nice.
Well, now we're up to the number one song in the land.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like this is, kind of a roundabout win. If you're looking for a win, you got to kind of look. You want to look for good.
Take it, one step at a time, and you find the things that make life worth it,
I'm so sorry, everyone.
What? Just
Yeah.
trying to silver linings.
Yeah.
Silver linings.
Silver linings. Well, speaking of silver linings,
One day they're going to make a movie about this,
that's true.
and it's going to be crazy.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of silver linings, hit me with some box office numbers.
Well, we don't do that now. You are so out of practice.
We don't?
No.
What do we do?
Well, first of all,
What do we do now?
We typically go for another 15, 20 minutes on this opening topic.
Well, then you're going to have to start playing some more Casey Kasem quotes.
I was ready to go. I was about to do the trailer for the missing Casey Kasem movie, and then you changed the
Really?
subject. I was.
I didn't realize there was a missing
There
Casey
is.
Kasem trailer, so let's get that going.
In a world where one man goes missing, only one wicked stepmother knows where he is. What song will be number one?
That definitely
And I
starts.
look back at 4 amazing decades.
That movie definitely stars Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
That much hasn't changed.
Has Casey Kasem.
I'm going to tell you something funny about Seth Rogen.
I think Aziz Ansari plays Casey Kasem.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So we always joke about the various forms of Rob and the various forms of Seth Rogen, and so my mom has this friend who recently came into town, and so she's my mom's age, which means she doesn't really get into all the new movies and stuff like that all the time. She's
Right.
just enjoying retirement, doing her thing, and I get a random Facebook message from her, and it just says, "Hey Rob, I was thinking today about Seth Rogen and how much you seem like you're like Seth Rogen." Has anyone ever mentioned that you're like Seth Rogen?
Oh, man.
And it made me laugh. It made me laugh because actually, yes, a lot of people have mentioned that I'm like a bald, bearded Seth Rogen. If he had a beard and was bald, or maybe if I had no beard and curly hair. I don't know.
I'm just trying to figure out which of that pack it makes me. Does that make me weird James Franco?
I don't know. Here's the point. You ready? I think we all can agree
Or am I-
that when Dusty's on his worst behavior, he's Danny McBride.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So the two that we know is that I'm definitely Seth Rogen, mannerism-wise,
Right.
all of it wise. He's definitely, when he's on his poor behavior, Danny McBride.
Or am I like Jonah Hill, the poor man's Seth Rogen?
No, because Jonah Hill has kind of gone on to be his own man in so many ways, and they're like, I think the nice
Think
thing
about
is
how many weeks
I
I've
don't
ran this
think-
radio show without you.
that's true. No, that's true.
And you are
Seth-
going to end up with an Oscar before
I've
him.
become.
That's what I'm saying. You'll end up with an Oscar before me. I'll still be stuck you're doing Moneyball, and I'm still doing the Green Hornet.
You're still doing Neighbors.
You know what yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
Whatever Neighbors is going to be awesome.
I think the whole point, though, behind this crew is that and this is just my opinion, none of them seem any better or worse than anyone else. And I think this is why
It's
it
different-
resonates
different
with people.
reasons of
They're all
badness.
awesome. Like, you couldn't have any of their movies without all of them. There was a time I would have said that you were our Michael Cera, but that's not you anymore. You're not Michael Cera anymore.
He's kind of become weird and evil too.
Yeah, like you kind of. I would have thought you were maybe Michael Cera from what's the one where the Japanese animation is in it and all that. It's about him trying to get his girlfriend back. And,
The Scott Pilgrim.
yeah, like
Yeah,
maybe
versus
Scott
the world.
Pilgrim era nerdy. I like and when I say this, I'm tapping into only one kind of part of who you are, but like I like a drama that has some, like a teenage drama that has a real feel to it and a heart to it, like that sort of a Michael Cera. I don't know. Maybe Jonah Hill's lost a lot of weight. You may be Jonah Hill. That could be. You may be James Franco, though. I mean, I think that would maybe be more likely. I think you're probably James Franco.
Maybe.
You're on the Whoop.
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
Good.
It's the Country Boy Produce coming from Lyle on Spring Place Road.
What?
Country Boy Produce on Spring Place Road, on Ladd Springs and Spring Place Road. We got some fresh, homegrown tomatoes down here.
All right.
Awesome.
How much are they?
They're $3 a cup or 2 for $5. We got cucumbers, we got picklers, we got squash, zucchini. Come on down, tell your listeners, come check it out for the best deals in town.
All right. What's the name of your fruit stand?
It's Country Boy Produce on Spring Place Road.
Okay, brother. That was some free advertising for you. Now you got to do something for us.
Hey, I'll bring some tomatoes down there.
Do it.
Or you could tell us what your favorite movie is.
My favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never have time for movie. I'm always on the go.
You've never seen a movie ever?
Yeah, I've watched some movies, but I always fall asleep in a recliner.
That's fair, buddy. Well, good luck selling your tomatoes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Bye. Hey, that guy knew how to get it done. He didn't say, "Hey, could I?" or
We sell golf clubs.
"I'm Mike's
We
golf."
sell golf.
F my golf club. Mike's golf clubs. No, he knew how to do it, right? What was funny was with all the wind noise and stuff. At first, I thought he was warning. He was saying
like,
There's
tomatoes.
tornado.
Right, and he was saying tomatoes, and I thought he was saying tornadoes. And I didn't want to hang up on him because I was sitting there thinking, good grief. Hold on, James Franco, if you'll. You're on the whoop.
I thought it was in tornado too. He didn't even leave a number, did he? I was wanting to see.
He said he's on Spring Place Road. He said he's on Spring Place Road.
Yeah, Spring Place Road.
Hey, Sid.
Huh?
Sid, can you do me a favor?
Do I? I'm looking for some weedless topsoil. Weedless. I'm making them.
Did you just say you were looking for some weed?
Weed topless.
You're looking for someone. You're looking for someone to weed topless.
No.
I am busy. I'm just saying.
But she.
Do you know how many times I've been asked to no?
Wait a minute. Let's see, what's her name? What's she stepping in here when I said topless?
AMC Mike, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, why is she saying something when I said topless?
I don't know. That's just, you know what? She's on the prowl. She's listening.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey,
Kind of a cougar.
listen, I need you to do me a favor, Sid.
Okay, she ain't flashing nobody down there, is she?
No.
Oh.
Sid.
Good. She ain't got them, she ain't got her, oh, Lord, I better not say that.
My mom just texted me, weedless topsoil, exclamation mark.
She ain't got nothing pierced that ain't supposed to be, has she?
Well, that depends on what do you think ought to be or not ought to be pierced. Now, Sid, I got a question for you. I've been off this show now for like 2 months.
Yeah?
Okay? Number one, you didn't even say you miss me.
I missed you.
Number two,
You were gone.
here's the thing. We got to get on with this. I'm trying to discover if Hollywood Slinky is Michael Cera, Jonah Hill, or James Franco. So I got to get back to that. But will you do me a favor and call back in a little bit?
Yeah.
Will you sing us the song?
Sorry to interrupt. The only reason I called is because I heard that guy come in and I thought it said tornado too. Out here on, well, see, I don't live far from Frankfurt.
No, there's tomatoes, not a tornado.
It's weedless topsoil.
No, yeah.
So listen, do me a favor and call us back. And when you call back, be ready to sing the Tennessee Pride song.
Okay.
I haven't heard it. All right, talk to you later. All right. So, yeah, those tornadoes down on Spring Place. I was sitting here thinking, I don't know if you saw my eyes, but I was like,
Tornado.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's not.
Don't do that. That's where it went over that line.
Yeah.
That's when I suddenly became convinced you are our Michael Cera.
That there is nothing wrong, everyone.
No tornadoes. It turns out they were just tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Just tomatoes.
Not tornadoes.
Yeah.
I don't like tomatoes or tornadoes. I don't like either.
I say
don't know.
tornadoes.
Tornadoes, tornadoes.
You say
tornadoes.
tornadoes.
You say tornado.
I say tornadoes.
tornado.
No.
Yeah. So, you know what? If anybody out there cares, we do need to know if Hollywood Slinky is James Franco, Michael Cera, or Jonah Hill. I'm leaning towards James Franco. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
I think you used to be Michael Cera, but you're definitely James Franco. And that's only because Danny McBride has been taken by somebody who is capable of doing worse things than you.
I thought it was maybe because my mom used to ask me if I was gay.
You never did answer her, did you?
That could be. Did you see that over the weekend? James Franco. Everybody went crazy
on
on his
Instagram.
with his selfies.
Yeah.
He made a shirt that was made out of his selfies. And took a selfie of himself wearing a shirt of selfies, and then his brother got on TV and was like, "Look, even the family doesn't know what he's doing."
Yeah,
like he's pulling a Lohan.
He was on.
No,
Conan.
I don't think he was pulling a Lohan at all.
I think he's just crazy. He's always been that way.
I think he's always been kind of
I think
crazy.
he's
but
just being weird.
when you take a
I don't think it's
selfie of your,
crazy.
so you don't think it's going to do something destructive soon?
I
mean, that's the line. That's when you know they've Lohaned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's. I think that he is truly believes he's an artist, whether he is or not, whatever that line is. I think he is just being a weirdo artist.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's
flirting with Lohan, and
they asked him. They asked his brother on Conan. He was like, "Your brother's been tweeting, Instagramming, half naked pictures of himself." And his brother actually said, "I think compared to some of the other stuff he's done, that's pretty tame."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the one thing about that particular crew is they already make movies about being crazier. You know what I mean? Like you already kind of know what is in their in their brain. That's my opinion. I don't know. It's just my
So there
opinion.
you go.
Man, we've had a lot of calls already.
I know it's exciting. You
It's a lot going
you have reinvigorated
and a
our
tomato
listenership.
and a tomato shout out from Mike's Golf.
There you go. All right. How about this? How about now we will go ahead and we'll go away.
It's up to you.
And we'll come back and then we'll do the box office.
Okay,
numbers.
that works for
All
me.
right, you're listening to Whoop FM 99.9. Lights, Camera, Cleveland. We'll be right back. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's all love movies together because the world needs movies to watch on TV and not just traffic and weather. And if the world loved movies like we love movies, it all would be much better. If you like movies, then you're cool with me. So let's all love movies together.
Yeah. And we are back.
You listen to Lights, Camera, Cleveland on Whoop FM.
You can stream us live right now at whoopfm.com.
Or follow us at Lights Cam Cleve. Or we're in the chat room. AMC Mike is in the chat room at
bluechat.com, BLOOCHAT, bluechat.com/lightscamcleve.
Goodness.
I have with me, I've got Carmi, So Dork, and Benedict.
Who's So Dork?
Who's So Dork?
You So Dork.
Hey now.
Who's So Dork?
Am I supposed to give away their secret identities?
It's SEW.
Yeah.
Oh, So Dork.
So, like they sew.
Like make it
Like they sewed
make
dork.
it show.
So Dork.
Yeah, I always thought that Captain Picard was running a secret sweatshop.
Hey, speaking of Captain
Make it so.
Picard,
That's what he used to tell all the
my wife recently
underage children workers.
Nice.
my wife recently
No wonder
got
everyone
back
hated
into
Wesley.
it. She got back into
Star Trek.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
How could you ever get out
And
of
so,
Star Trek?
well, you watch shows,
Ashley.
things come and they go.
Ashley.
But my new favorite thing to do has been to sit in the room across from her where I can just kind of be out of the way and she doesn't pay attention to the fact that I'm listening and live update on Facebook the quotes that she says as she watches, as she interacts with things. I'll hear some music and it'll be like, doom, 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 and she'll say something like, oh, Riker's about to get so mad. Or like last night she was watching one where she said, Wesley. Why do they always say Wesley? Why doesn't anyone say Wesley?
space, the final frontier.
I'm just saying.
Except for you're using the wrong one.
Oh, now we're gonna
Wesley.
Now we're gonna nitpick. I see.
She asked the other day if Data was his first name, his last name, or just his name like Prince. Do you know that answer?
I believe it's just one name like Spock.
Because sometimes he says Mr. Data. Like Spock, huh?
Yeah.
That's true, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Data.
Is that Star Trek The Next Generation?
This is the correct one.
Right.
Mr. Alderman.
Wesley.
We're gonna start Mr. Aldo.
Wesley.
Wesley. It's with a Z though, huh? Wesley.
Apparently everybody says it, not just Picard, but everybody who says his name.
Really? Did you ever hear the story about the first time that the actor Will Wheaton met the first time he met Bill Shatner?
No, I haven't heard that story.
It was on the set of Star Trek V, the one that Shatner directed, and that film was being shot on the stage directly across the street from where they shot Next Generation.
Uh-huh.
And so he walked over to meet him, and he got all the way over there and then saw him and chickened out and tried to leave, but then some gaffer, like some little stagehand guy who happened to work on both, grabbed Will and was like, "Hey, come meet Bill," and grabbed him and forced him over to meet him, and he was wearing his little Wesley outfit, with the sweater and all that stuff, and I guess apparently Shatner took one look at him and went, "What's that? What are you wearing?" And he was like, and he got real uncomfortable, and then Shatner was like, "Is that your uniform?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, what do you do?" And Wesley was like, sometimes they let me fly the ship and stuff. And Shatner was like, "No kids on my bridge." And then walked away. And that was it.
But it really upset him.
Of course,
yeah,
really
and Will Wheaton was like, "That was Bill Shatner," and I was just tossed.
Kicked off the set.
They've apparently since become friends.
Except for that, what an awesome Shatner thing to happen to you. The
No,
thing
it's
is,
an
he
awesome-
got completely Shatnered.
But it's an awesome Shatner thing to happen to someone else, not to you. If that happened to you, think
I
about
know,
it.
I
If you
know,
were a
but
big nerd.
As he got older, though, listen, though, as he got older, I guarantee you, he sat around with his friends and was like,
I
"And
was
you remember that
Shatnered."
time Shatnered right on me?" You know what I mean?
No, didn't he write a angry book about it though?
He's wrote a bunch of books.
No
Yeah.
kids on my bridge. I love it, dude. That's fantastic.
What do you do?
Is that your uniform? I love it. This is the thing. Bill Shatner's not beholden to anybody, and Will Wheaton may have become this self-proclaimed king of the geeks, but
I would like to
he's
see
like the fandom
him.
spokesboy.
I'd like to see Will Wheaton and Chris Hardwick fight it out for that title.
You gotta throw Joss Whedon in there too.
I think you know what though. Joss Whedon doesn't try to wear the crown. That's the difference.
Right. Okay. I'll agree with that. Although I
He's
just think all
the
three of them are
people's king. The people have put him up there, not him.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I think the people put Will Wheaton up there too, and then
No.
he sort of went on with his bad self. Everybody was sort of like, "Will Wheaton's such a nerd. Will Wheaton's so cool. Will Wheaton writes a blog about being nerdy." And then he was like, "Wait a minute, everybody likes me." Have you ever noticed that? That's what happens to nerds.
Right.
Right? We're nerds, and part of being a nerd is that nobody likes you, and then people start to like you, and you become Shatner. I don't know. I don't hold any of that mess against Bill Shatner. He's Bill Shatner.
Right. I mean,
That's
how
like what he
do you
does.
stay upset with him? I mean, he is what he is.
And he also did the best cover of Rocket Man by Elton John ever. So I don't know. Sorry, Will Wheaton. You just don't. Plus, did anybody else think Will Wheaton was sort of a little pansy on that show?
No.
You didn't think he was?
No, but I have a theory that most people will argue with, but they argue with it because I think that they are embarrassed that it's probably right.
Okay.
Especially for our generation, when we were watching Next Generation, we were approximately the same age as Wesley. And so either you thought Wesley was cute and you liked him,
I'm just
or
hoping.
you were mad because you thought you could do a better job than Wesley.
Now that's coming from somebody who's seriously Star Trekified.
Yes.
So you mean if you were Wesley, you would actually do a better job being a real Star Trekky person, or being like if the show was real. That's what you're saying,
right? Yeah.
You don't mean you could act better than Will Wheaton.
Right, yeah.
You mean
No.
you would actually be a better Wesley.
Right. Exactly. And most people, once they go, oh no, I didn't like Wesley, and they go, yeah, I would have been a better Wesley than.
Oh, that's interesting. And maybe that's true.
It's actually jealous rage.
Yeah.
I can say that for me, I really loved that show because my dad loved it. And I would watch it with him, and I never got that deep into the psyche of it. I was just enjoying spending time with my dad. And I will say, to me, Next Generation continues to be, to this day, the most accessible for me. It's just, you can watch any episode, no matter who you are. If you really love the technical stuff, if you don't, it's all kind of right
I think
there.
it just depends on what you're introduced with.
I was always frustrated by Wesley, but it was because he was, and this
He
may
just seemed
sound
like a whiner to me.
This may sound dorky, because given how old I would have been when that show aired, but I always thought that Wesley was clearly written by an adult. Like, he just always felt like a fake kid.
Right. Kind of whiny, but like written whiny.
Right. So,
Like some adult who was writing his part was like, now we're going to need a whiny kid that doesn't understand everything. But
he's a
it's
genius.
But he's a genius, and it's going to give Picard a chance to praise him from time to time.
Well, yeah, that guy was Roddenberry.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
Well,
just
no,
saying.
I'm just saying that Wesley was Roddenberry's favorite character in all of Star Trek.
I just got a text from my wife saying that she just looked up Will Wheaton's blog, and she says, I don't think the fact that his current beard is an exact replica of Commander Riker's is in any way a coincidence.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting
I was trying.
for. I know you were moving quick. All I could do was hold my gaze. All I could do was hold my gaze and think,
We still got
I know
it.
it's coming.
We still got it.
I was like, I know it's coming. He's going for what I'm hoping he's going for. But that's the way I see it. Oh, she sent a picture.
Oh,
It's true. It really. Number one.
nice.
What a dork. He looks like a pansy now.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a
though.
whiner.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
though. We met him at a convention, and
Gen
Well,
Con.
he seems to be.
remember he did a bumper for our podcast. He did I'm Will Wheaton and I Love Movies for us.
Right. That's true. Okay, I
Yeah.
take back everything
So
I
he's
said
all
about
right.
you, Wesley. I just guess I never thought I could do a better job because I didn't like the show enough to picture myself doing that.
Okay, but I'm saying like
But
for,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like fans that are that excited about it. Generally,
Little girls thought he was cute.
yeah, I did.
Little girls thought he was cute, and you're thinking little boys were kind of like, I could be better.
Or they thought he was cute, and either way.
Sure, right. They might have thought he was cute too. I just thought, I don't know. Maybe now that Ashley is watching it, I'll get to see more, and as an adult, maybe I will think he's less of a whiner. Maybe I'll be like, oh, look, he's just like a 15-year-old kid or
Would be in
whatever.
this situation
You know what I'm
surrounded by
saying?
adults. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I might find that out. Maybe just being me as a kid made me think, man, that kid's whining. My dad kicked my butt if I acted like that. Think about where we came from.
Right.
Not a whole lot of room for complaining up in the Midwest.
No.
Wait. Yes, there is. That's
No.
all anyone does in the Midwest.
Nah, not when you're a kid, you don't. Go outside and play in that tornado. Okay. Fine, Dad.
Go out.
Fine,
Wait, did you
fine,
just say
Dad.
go outside and play in that tomato?
I said go outside and play in that weedless topsoil.
I am not.
Nice.
You ready to do these? This? When do we do these?
I was gonna share.
I'm so
this,
confused. I don't even know what we do anymore.
I was gonna share something with the world here.
Okay.
For just a second.
Share it.
But it's gonna take me just a second to pull it up here.
Okay.
So talk amongst yourselves about Will Wheaton.
About Will
About
Wheaton?
Wesley. Well, all I can say is so far, and I have not sat and watched the show with my wife, but from across the room, they still sound like it's not terribly dated to me.
Yeah. All right.
You
Here
know,
we go.
the stories still sound good.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm Will Wheaton, and I love movies.
That's what he did for us.
Oh
right
man,
there.
forget about it. He's my favorite now. He's my favorite. I take it back, Wesley.
Our bad.
I'm gonna go have some Earl Grey. Hot. Yeah. How could I be upset when? Play that again. Play that again.
I'm Cornelius, and I
Hang on,
love
because there's other people here.
This is the Horror Master Karan, and I love
He was a Klingon.
I'm Carolyn, and I love movies.
I'm Aggie, and I love movies.
I'm Darth Vader, and I love movies.
These are all people in cosplay.
I love our Darth. Hey guys, I'm Darth Vader. I like movies. Hey everybody, I'm Darth Vader, and I love movies. That man didn't sound like Darth Vader at all, but his costume's fantastic.
I'm Wes Bentley from The Hunger Games, and I love movies.
I'm Will Wheaton, and I love movies.
See, I like him better than the Hunger Games guy.
I know the Hunger
who had
Games
to
guy-
say he was with the Hunger Games
Because we might not know who he was. You know, and what's funny is,
But did any of us
but most
know?
people, it's
I
Wes
didn't know.
Wes Bentley's the actor's name. The thing is, you know what I know him from?
What?
Oh shoot, it just flew out of my head. The American Beauty. He's the videographer.
Videoing
kid.
the bag.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Sometimes I video this bag for hours and hours, Wesley.
I wanted to, when we met him, I wanted to like take a plastic bag and just throw it up into the air and go, look at that. What do you think of that?
I just created you something beautiful.
And then he would have
But
been
before
like,
you had the chance, Darth Vader was like, "Hey guys, I'm Darth Vader, and I was just thinking, I'd maybe do that choky thing to you, but I won't touch you or anything. I'm just over here." Darth Vader, and I love movies. I don't know. I love cosplay now. You guys have ruined me.
Sorry.
The Connugas. I like to go and see everybody being my favorite ones, and this is true because it's true of me. Are you ready?
Sure.
So, AMC Mike loves every human, and she often is the voice of reason on this show. So I need to say this so she doesn't think I'm being cruel. My favorite ones are the people who shamelessly dress up even though they are absolutely in no way the right shape or size to be who they are. And like I said, I proved that myself by being Fat Indiana Jones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the people. My
but
favorite
you're
one
saying
was
you don't like it. You don't like it because you want to make fun of it. You like it because you are happy that they
somebody
have that
cares about the
confidence
character enough. It's not even about the confidence because I can't see inside their brain. Obviously, they had the guts.
Right.
Like, I don't know how good they feel about themselves as they do it, but I'm glad they do it regardless. I like
the
the
bravery
fact that
to support their fandom.
Right. I like the fact that somebody loves something enough
that it doesn't matter.
The first guy, have I ever told you guys the story about the first cosplayer I met when you invited me to Connuga a few years ago?
No.
He was Prince Charming from the Disney movies.
Okay.
Which is weird because I would never think of that. I would think of some sort of obscure manga that nobody knows about before.
No,
I think of
man,
that.
Disney movies are crazy.
And so Rusty and I get to Connuga that first year, and here is this very quiet, thin, blonde-haired man dressed perfectly in a Prince Charming outfit, like, the blue slacks with the line down the side of them and the white shirt. I guess he'd be the Prince Charming from Snow White. Is that where he dressed kind of military at the end? I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, he's dressed like Prince Charming, and we sit down and we introduce ourselves because we're waiting for Connuga to start. I didn't know where you guys were.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so who are you? And he's like, I'm Prince Charming. And he says, like, I'm hoping to find my Snow White or something like that. And Rusty was like, mind blown. This dude is real right now. You see what I'm saying? And in that moment, it was kind of like when I was in Pacific Rim and the guy said, welcome to the Shatterdome, and I was about to make fun of it.
Right.
And Rusty was like, Shatterdome! Yes! 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 Right? Like, so these cosplayers that will just get into they'll just do this thing, man.
There is
that is awesome to me.
There is a meme that's been going around for a couple years now, where it's Wonder Woman and I think Flash, and they've got really awesome costumes. They're really sharp, and you could tell they spent a lot of money and a lot of time. But the meme is apparently this little boy got lost in a convention. And he knew that you didn't talk to strangers when you were lost. So he went and asked them for help because he knew that they were heroes and they would help him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it is,
See, and that's
And that little boy was Casey Kasem, and no one knows where he is now.
I'll tell you this. One of the coolest moments that I had is if you guys remember when Ashley went as Wonder Woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was explaining to her, now, people are going to want to take your photo. And she's an introvert,
Right.
So all of a
And
sudden...
again, one of those people who is completely the wrong size for that costume.
And I had to be
because she's too little. She's too little.
So I was sitting there thinking I had to broach it carefully because I thought, she may just not want to go.
Right.
But she was a great sport, had an awesome costume, looked great.
She looked great.
And so she's on the bus riding over there.
The shuttle,
and
like between the
right?
hotels?
And we get over to finally find you guys. We know where you're at now. We're on our way. And the doors open, and there's all of these people waiting to get on the bus. And as she stepped down, they erupted into applause. And I mean, just full-on standing ovation because here's a person. I mean, she had done the whole costume, every piece of it. Not
she's got the hair for it,
everything. The makeup, the everything. And and it was like, they just go crazy. And she didn't. I could tell. She stiffened up for a second, so we're like, oh my gosh, everybody. And then she realized, like, this is the fun of it. And she was so rad the whole time letting people take pictures. And there was a boy there who I'm going to say fairly confidently was on the autistic spectrum. I don't know if you guys remember him being there, but he was kind of all around that day. So he was there, and he had been dressed as his father had explained to me that he had an obsession, an OCD compulsion for the Batman television.
Bruce Wayne, or I mean, not Bruce Wayne. Adam West.
Adam West Batman and stuff. So he's there. So he's talking to her, and she can't necessarily hear what he's saying, but he's telling her, "I know you're with the Justice League. I know you're with the Justice League," over and over. Now she doesn't know comics. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know, and she's trying to communicate. He goes, "I saw you with the Justice League. I saw you with the Justice," just over and over. And I said to her, "Just tell him, yes, I am. And we're going to save the world." And so she looked at him and she just smiled and she said, "Yes, I am with the Justice League and we're going to save the world." And he was like, "Yes." Like, yes. And so I've started to embrace that in every way, like seeing the boys watch this. And I hope next year, we could take all of the kids and just go do that. It just freaks me out how awesome it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even, we've done it on a smaller scale. You remember we had Carrie's birthday party, for example.
Heidi says that Prince Charming was from Cinderella. And by the way, Heidi, just to let you know, I mean, he's at Connuga. So
and he's looking
for you.
His Cinderella.
He's looking for you.
But anyway, I've heard he's a Seventh-day Adventist, so that'll work out great.
He may be. I don't know.
But anyway,
Disney doesn't judge.
He was well groomed.
Yeah. So
he could have been a vegetarian,
and he likes cruises.
He probably does. So
yeah, but I mean, Carrie had a cosplay birthday party a couple of years ago. She did a Harry Potter one where everybody came dressed up like Harry Potter characters, and I mean it's fun. Like it's only fun in I mean, it can, I guess it can always be fun depending upon who you are, but I'm kind of with you in that, like, what makes it really fun is when the whole world is buying into it.
Yeah.
When it's in those moments where it's safe, it's fun, and it's
one of my favorites that I ever saw was that first year when I met the severely overweight greatest American hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how did this guy even get himself into the red spandex? And here he is, man, just living it out. I was like, please let me take my picture with you. Please, please, please,
And it wasn't because it was funny.
No, it's because it was awesome.
Right.
The thing about conventions and stuff like that is that it is a safe place for people to wear these costumes and be these characters that they couldn't anywhere else. I mean, I can remember, like the Harry Potter thing, like when the Harry Potter movies were coming out, you go to these movies and there's a lot of people will dress up in costume, the first night to go see the movie. And then there'll be other people making fun of them. And it's like, that's not cool. Why would you do that? And I mean, it's very frustrating as someone who I not only enjoys doing that type of thing, but I can see the benefits it has for other people when, you see other people being bullies.
Sure, yeah. I saw some of that even at the conventions. I think people are mean anywhere you go sometimes, but I will agree that it's a much bigger group of people who are enjoying it than you see anywhere else.
And will protect each other.
So I think I can only hope that there's a franchise that comes along for our kids that is as impressionable on them as I used to dress up for the Star Wars movies when I was younger and go, and I hope that Rusty, Riley, and Sarah and Dakota have a thing that's, and it's not that we can't.
We're gonna be.
It's not that we can't
old
introduce
Han
them
Solo.
To. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's not that, but here's what I mean. Ready? Yes, I'm introducing them to all of those things already. Right? Rusty's a huge Harry Potter fan already. He like Star Wars pretty well. Riley really likes Star Wars. The thing is that, in a sense, and I agree with, like, as parents handing things down to your kids, but Star Wars wasn't something my parents handed down to me. We kind of all experienced it together, right? What I'm hoping is there will be something that's uniquely them, that they can completely get by.
Right.
I see these kids now. Somebody sent me a link because of that Attack on Titan, and there were a bunch of kids that were older than Rusty, which made me happy because no kid Rusty's age needs to be watching that. But they weren't adults, right? And they had gone out and made all their own Attack on Titan videos, right? And I was just thinking, like, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, they saw this thing, they really, really liked it, and now they're dressing in the costumes, doing the thing. I hope there's something like that that's uniquely for our kids.
Oh, and there always will be. I
for
think.
Cottanooga next year, you and I ought to dress. We ought to get like bodysuits and go as like the giant naked giants.
It just
We'll
just,
just walk-
chase around the kids, that
And
are
we're just
dressed
gonna
like-
walk through, and whenever we come across like a rack of toys, we'll just knock it over,
Eat it.
and eat it.
I wish we could all coordinate and go as, like, get a whole group of people and go. As
It would be cool to have like a big,
I've done that before. It is very fun.
Maybe
what'd you do? Which one did you do?
Oh, well, it was the first year when we did the Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right.
And then we also did a Firefly one.
Oh, Firefly'd be good.
Yeah, Firefly was very fun.
Firefly'd be good. That'd be really excellent.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be excellent.
What?
If you'd hit me with some box office numbers.
All right, number 5, Captain America 2, bringing in $5.8 million, $245.1 million is its 6-week total. I can't help but notice $5.8 million. Some of that feels like Rob money.
It is. I was getting desperate. As you know, I do not go see movies by myself very often, which is funny because everybody knows that when I do, I enjoy it.
Right.
But man, it's a lot to get me there. It's hard for me to go by myself. I was so afraid I was going to miss this one in the theaters that I went by myself.
And it's interesting because Cap is your favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think of they've done such a great job with that franchise, and I like him in the comics too. You know, I'd have a similar. I'll tell you this: if they ever actually do a real Green Arrow movie, and I don't mean like CW's The Arrow.
You know what they're saying though, that the Arrow has gotten really good.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I gave it a good shot. I
Gotham
didn't give it
looks great.
Oh,
Gotham looks
looks
fantastic.
so good.
Gotham looks fantastic. So my point is, if they did a Green Arrow, I'm going on opening night, whether anyone goes with me or not, right? But the thing is, you're right. As far as the Marvel stuff goes, for me, Captain America is by far my favorite. So I got in there and was really glad that I did, because that was definitely a movie to see on the big screen.
Yeah. Number 4, Heaven is for Real, $7.4 million, bringing its 4-week total, get this, to $75.7 million. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of church buses.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a lot of church buses, and it is a testament to one thing, which is of this last 5 years worth of Christian movies coming out. It's the only one that regular critics that weren't necessarily Christian said, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
You know, this is the one that they're saying, like, well, it stars some actual actors and the script doesn't suck, and you know, not that it's going to win an Oscar anytime soon, but they're attributing that to your Joe average human who's saying, okay, I looked at everything that I want to see, and I want to see this, as opposed to a group of churches that say we're sending everybody on Wednesday night to go see it.
Right. I also heard a lot of people were saying, oh, no Kirk Cameron? I'm in.
That could be.
Number 3, The Other Woman, $9.6 million, bringing its 3-week total to $62.1.
Wow.
You know, this one is surprising because it just looked bad.
Yeah, but there
It
are
didn't
no
look good to me.
there are no chick flicks.
Well,
Yeah, that
And
new
I'm not
one just
saying that
came
it's-
out, right? The Mother's Day Out just came out, but not enough to impact this.
No, it opened in like 7th, the number 7 spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did not do well, but it didn't look good. I mean, I think it got a 3-way hating.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I would have got a 4-way hating if I'd been here. So.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of that, last week was weird because they were all unanimous.
That is weird.
Across
We have
the
synced.
board. Yeah, it was weird.
Wow, weird.
So, number 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, $35.5 million, bringing its 2-week total to $146.2.
Yeah, so we need to pause here because Carmi wants to hear about it.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was going to say you did the wrong. You did the wrong theme song there, Wesley.
Your daughter would be so disappointed in you.
Can we pause since you guys
I learned
saw this
spiders
movie?
poop today.
Yeah, that is
I
something we
learned that we were at least wondering.
Yeah, spiders.
We looked it up.
Yeah, apparently they do. Spiders do poop.
Hey, I saw a funny meme today. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Speaking about spiders, have you seen the meme that has like the picture of the spider 4 times, and it's like, hey, like the top line is in regular kind of just regular font, and it says like, hey, I want you to know I was over there and I saw this mean wasp in the house, so I caught him and ate him so he wouldn't sting you. What are you doing with that shoe? Like that. Like, have you seen that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like another one is like, hey, I'm so glad you have this huge house. I'm just going to stay over here in the corner where I'll catch flies and keep them out of your way. Oh, yes, I would like to read the paper. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, but for a second, since Carmi specifically asked, why don't we do a quick Spider-Man thing? I'm sure you've done it.
We have.
But she asked, and she and Mr. Carmi are thinking about going to see it.
Yeah.
So you want to tell her if she should?
Well, I think first of all, it depends on if she liked the first Amazing Spider-Man film. Because if she preferred the Tobey Maguire films, you know, if she didn't care for Amazing Spider-Man, she's not going to care for this one because it's more of that. So having said that, assuming that she liked the first one, this one is a lot of fun. It's very... it's got a lot of action. The special effects are pretty great. Andrew Garfield continues to be very, very charismatic and charming.
Along with his hair.
You know, he and Emma Stone continue to have amazing chemistry, which makes sense because they're dating in real life.
They have real chemistry.
So, you know, everything, all of that is great. But to be honest, if you really drill it down, the film is a mess. It feels like a lot of short vignettes pieced together to make a 2.5 hour long film. They spend a little too much time setting up sequels and future films like The Sinister Six and not enough time concentrating on the movie that they are in.
Yeah.
And there's weird, disjointed storytelling. Like there are entire segments that are about the Peter Parker's father that are not relevant to this film and just kind of feel like they just sort of happen for 20 minutes and the rest of the movie stops happening around it.
I think my big issue with the film was, I'll echo all of the positive, because it's done in these short vignette moments where each piece is sort of segmented, I feel like they rush us through some things that they don't have to.
Right.
Whereas if they would have not done it that way, we could have had just maybe 1 or 2 stories going on that were fully fleshed out and realized.
And it could have been great.
And it could have been really, really wonderful.
Now, having said...
I really felt like it was almost like they took a 6-issue comic book series, and instead of adapting it for a movie, they just literally read it panel by panel and went through. So it really was very segmented, and the music was weird.
Oh, it had terrible music.
The music was so bad.
Oh.
There's like, they play this like clown music whenever Electro is on screen.
When he's a human, and then when he becomes Electro, it's like this sad oboe music.
And it doesn't fit
with
either.
like really horrifying voices in his head that are louder than the dialogue that's going on the screen.
Right.
It was bizarre.
It's strange. The music is a definite failure. But now
the problem is it's so easy to drill down on the negatives that you can miss the absolute fun that the movie is.
Which is what I was going to say, was that the thing is, the movie is a ton of fun. I liked it a great deal, but it just goes to show that, you know, you can have fun and love a movie even if it's not really amazing.
Right.
Spider-Man.
You know, I would say that honestly, it's just good. But it is so much fun that you leave feeling like it was
I think
great.
if you did pros and cons, that you would say that the problem is that the cons, if we were to break down the cons being story discombobulation and soundtrack, that the pros actually outweigh it in terms of cinematography is great, special effects are great, the acting is really, really, really good,
superb.
You know, so there's a lot of reasons, Carmi, to go see this movie, and go expecting a good time. Don't go expecting it to be a thematic masterpiece.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not going to win any Oscars.
I'm ready for Shia LaBeouf to retire, and they should take every script they're going to send to him and give it to Garfield and let it be a good movie. That's where I'm at this point. Yeah. I don't know.
Number 1, no surprise here, Neighbors, $49 million.
And that's the one I'm going to try to sneak you out to see this weekend.
You know, you have to clear it with AMC Mike.
Because I'm going to go see that because it looks
that
brilliant.
Okay, well then I'm going to try to get you out to see Godzilla this weekend.
I'm trying.
Are you going to say no to that too?
Here's what I think. Here's what
Look at that. She's just waiting to say no. I can't win. I can't win in this scenario.
I have a solution. The great peacemaker. Can I get some Zen? Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking is that maybe Rob and I go have a guys' night out and we see Neighbors, and then you can organize a girls' night out with maybe Lassiter or Brittany or something and go see Neighbors. And then you and I can see Godzilla together this weekend while Rob babysits Dakota.
No, I'll tell you.
See, here's the thing. He just gave you such a nice scenario, and you just hammered it.
Yeah, exactly. I did. You want to know why? Because we've already had this conversation.
You and I haven't spoken about this once.
No, Slinky and I have.
When?
In the car last night, was it? Yeah, you're not going to help me now because you know you're in trouble. What happened was, he goes, this is going to be one of those things I'm going to complain about.
The whole time you were not on the show.
Yeah, this is going to be... He goes, I'm going to complain about something, but I'm not really complaining about it, which means he's complaining about it. And he goes, it kind of sucks that, you like all the movies I do. Because that means I can never go see movies without you. And I mean, it's great that we like the same thing because then we could talk about it and, be married and like the same thing and, be a couple. But it's really frustrating. So no, go ahead. Go ahead. And I want you to go watch Neighbors and Godzilla and all the other movies you want to go see.
You really did screw yourself on this, buddy. Like, who initiates an argument with their wife about that?
I'm really upset that you like the same types of things that I like. That we have things in common.
What I meant was, I'm going to sneak AMC Mike out this weekend.
Carmi just renamed our show Lights, Camera, Divorce.
Could we institute? What about this? How about this for the Peace Summit? Like Ken would say, right? You get your diplomats. You have some coffee. What if we instituted a 5-to-1 rule? Right? I'm only asking to hang out with him 1 out of every 5. So you got five movies. That means 4 for the 2 of you, 1 for me and him for old times.
Really. Take him this weekend. Take my husband, please.
Well, if that's the case, then hey, man, we're gonna go see both movies.
Go for it.
We're gonna go see both. We're gonna go do an El Noche de Dos Cine.
I am also though going to say you do not get the popcorn bucket. That's my little.
All right, but you're paying for it then.
Hey, guess what? What? I got a popcorn bucket.
You have to share. I did not miss you, Rob. I did not miss you, and I would like to say that I miss Ken Dog. Because Ken Dog never did this type of thing to me.
Ken Dog never invited Ryan to a movie. All I did was invite him to a movie. I didn't even know it was this isn't my fight to have, AMC Mike. I didn't make him be a jerk to you in the car. That's between you all. That's got nothing to do with me. He and I have been seeing movies since we were just out of high school.
Then you had your time.
Freshmen's.
You had your time.
That's not how that works. That's not how friendship works. You don't
well,
say
that's
that
not how marriage works.
I just said 4-to-1.
Nah.
What an incredible ratio. That I would say, look, hang on.
4
movies.
I just want to point out, it was funny because a few minutes ago it was 5-to-1.
Yeah,
and now it's 4.
I meant 1 and 5. I meant 1 out of 5. I'm talking about out of 5 movies, I'm asking for 1. Out of 5 movies, I'm asking for 1.
You get 2 this weekend.
You're listening to Lights, Camera, Cleveland on Whoop FM 99.9. We'll be right back.
Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so away from out of the blue, breaking me out of the spell I was in, making all of my wishes come true. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free, flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. This is too good to be true. Look at me, falling for you.
Do you believe it or not?
I do believe it. I do believe it. I do believe that you just got me in trouble with AMC Mike because you start arguments with her in the car.
It was a conversation. It wasn't an argument until we were on the radio tonight. I was just kind of blindsided.
I don't
by
believe that in it for an instant. I think that you just opened a can of lies. Evil, candy-coated lies. That's what I think. I like that. And you know what time it is? Well, is it time for this?
Yes.
I don't know how this works anymore, so it is?
It can be.
It is.
Who yelled it's time for the big news when I was gone? Anybody, or did we just say, hey, it's big news now?
Ken Dog
Ken
kinda
Dog would
did.
yell it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so that
But
didn't
he did like a
totally go
weird, like, yodely, like...
Really?
Yeah, and I always had to turn the levels way down for it because he would like move closer to the mic.
And he'd like eat the mic and then go...
It's time for the big news.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not going to do that, but
All right.
since I'm back, I'm going
What
to try.
time is it, my friend?
It's time for the big news!
This is the part of the show where we have scoured the interwebs trying to find everything we could about Hollywood that is of interest. And this week we have found some things. First up, it can't be worse than The Phantom Menace, right?
Right?
Sources all across the internet are now reporting that the working title for Star Wars Episode 7 is The Ancient Fear.
Oh, it can.
I guess it can be.
Oh, that's awful.
It's weird to me, though. What's so bad about it?
It's just kind of flat.
The thing is,
It sounds like a bad horror movie. Like,
How
it
do
sounds
we-
like... What was that movie with the temple with, like, the kudzu?
Oh, what was
The
Was
ruins.
it The Ruins? Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what the ruins...
I don't know. I'm going to... Listen, I don't want to fight with AMC Mike because I don't know what I might say to make her mad. Because you may have argued with her about something earlier and that I don't know about. But here's the thing. I think that in general, society, not you, not AMC Mike, not anybody, we're getting oddly comfortable with just making fun of these titles like The Dark Knight Rises, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to really say why The Ancient Fear would be bad because really the title is Star Wars, The Ancient Fear, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe. It's just the working title.
Right, it's just a working title.
So the thing is, like, without knowing the context or the story, nobody's leaked the script yet. All we know is that they've had their first run through.
Right.
Like, we don't know why it may or may not be called that or how appropriate or contextually right it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, A New Hope, The Ancient Fear. Like, the first time people heard A New Hope, it might have been like, ugh.
I still
weak.
think it's weak.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that movie will always just be Star
Star
Wars.
But it's Star Wars: A New Hope.
Maybe to you.
I'm just saying. But you see what I'm saying?
Or it's Episode 4.
I mean,
if you're
what
trying
are some,
not to
I mean,
confuse
outside of the Wrath of Khan, I'm just saying they don't get like the Wrath of Khan is awesome. You know what I mean? But outside of that, almost any of the other Star Trek ones aren't really strong. They're just
What else we got?
subtitles.
Search for Spock. Meh.
Right.
It's just kind of descriptive.
Because it's
What's-
about
what
the
was
search.
after-
That's what I'm. See, that was what I was saying. What AMC Mike just said. It's just descriptive. The ancient
Search for
fears.
Spock, The Voyage Home, The Undiscovered
For
Country.
Country.
That one's not bad.
Yeah,
that one's not bad.
yeah.
But
The Final Frontier.
see what I'm
not-
saying? They're all just sort of that, but they're all descriptors of whatever's going on in the movie. So I think until we see what it is, and knowing Disney, even the working title may be nothing like what they
True.
Really
What was the original working title for? Was it
For Empire, it was Blue Harvest.
Yeah, like
But they were pretending they were making a horror film called Blue Harvest.
Right.
Well, maybe they're pretending they're making a horror film named The Ancient
Called
Fear.
The Ancient Fear.
It does. It sounds like that would be a great horror movie. Like, oh no, it's The Ancient Fear. Look out, everyone.
In a world where fear was ancient.
Old.
All right, next up. It's Morphin' time. Yeah. Lionsgate has announced that it's teaming with Saban Brands to revive the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the first of what it hopes will be many live-action feature films. The series was launched by Haim Saban over 20 years ago, mixing footage with young American actors and climactic action footage kind of stolen from a Japanese television show called Kyōyoro Sentai Suyuenga.
You do that so well.
Thank you. The new film is going to cast a new group of high school kids who mix their studies and social lives with saving the world.
Do we know how many different versions of Power Rangers there's been?
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was a lot. I just wasn't sure if we
lot.
knew how many.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's just everywhere, right? At this point,
kind
of.
of.
It's kind of a cultural thing instead of a. I mean, there are probably some people that are pretty OCD about it that know all that stuff. So
Sure,
there's probably
absolutely.
a definitive Power Ranger source online.
Well, I know that all of the Power Rangers are in the same, like, quote-unquote universe. Like, because I had caught, because Dakota for a very short time really wanted to watch Power Rangers. And so I clicked on one on the Netflix, and it showed this new group of kids becoming the Power Rangers. And they did, like, a quick, like pass by of, like, all of the other Power Rangers that have ever been. So like they did nod that
They
were
acknowledged that
they
there were
acknowledged that there's been like 30
It looks
different
like
versions.
it looks like the answer is like 18.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
And how many years ago was it? Only 20?
So it's been moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So there you go.
Now is the film, is this like a real film or is this like made for TV film?
No, it'd be a real movie.
Awesome. Okay. We used to, in my Rocky Horror Cast, we had the trailer for the original Power Rangers, and we used to mimic it all the time. It was very fun.
I don't know. Like Power Rangers was like this thing that when I was a lot younger was fun to make fun of, but never did I really have a reason because I never watched it. It was like, oh, Power Rangers, but who knows? I don't know anything about it. I know that there's some kids and that they've got colors and they karate fight, right? Do they become anything?
Do
they form together like Voltron?
Yes, sort of.
Yes.
What happens is they use their magic swords or communicators or whatever to like summon these like cars, and then they each have a car or a vehicle of some type, depending upon the version of Power Rangers, and then each of those combine into a giant.
But they can
robot.
fight in their individual, I think they're called Zoids? Droids? I don't remember what they're.
So they do become a giant robot.
Yes.
Okay. So I like Voltron, so I can't hold anything against these guys. You know? I don't think so. Is there some breaking Casey Kasem news?
I'm just looking over your shoulder. The Harvard Black Mass is about to begin. It's a showdown over Satan, but I don't know anything about that or what that means.
I don't know. I'll look it up while you give me the next piece
It's
of
some
news.
sort of satanic black mass.
Okay, and it happens at Harvard?
It's happening at Harvard. Yeah.
All right, I'll look it up right
That's
now.
weird. Next up, Yabba Dabba Doo Doo. Warner Brothers is hoping to bring the Flintstones back to the big screen as a full-length animated feature. Chris Henchy, who is Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's partner, and he also co-wrote the script for the Ferrell Galifianakis comedy The Campaign, is writing the script. Will Ferrell and Adam McKay are going to be executive producers. No word yet on if they're going to do any of the voices, but it's still in development stages. And then this is the interesting part about this one is the article reported that Flintstones was The Simpsons of its day, a primetime cartoon and sitcom that ran from 1960 to 1966 and then entertained millions when it aired on syndication. And I just found it interesting to me that they would call the Flintstones The Simpsons of its day when The Simpsons has been on the air for like 23 years.
Yeah, but the Flintstones were how long ago?
The 60s? I don't know. It just seems weird to be like, to hearken The Simpsons back to something that didn't do as well. Just
okay, so here's the story. Oh, okay.
You're
on the Whoop.
Here's a song for you and MC Mike. Need to think about this. And listen to the words of this song.
Okay.
It goes, let's see. Moon in the sky, softly creeping over the hills from above. As I lie awake, hardly sleeping.
Well,
so lonely for only your love.
Sounds like AMC Mike has found a date for Godzilla.
Even now, each night I remember the days of summer when blossoms filled his bough, and the cold gray days of December. My darling, I miss you even now.
She's tearing up.
I am.
Will I see you again? Come to my arms where you belong. My world will be empty till then, 'cause you are the words to my song.
Well done.
That was
well done, Sid.
beautiful. Thank you, Sid.
That was good stuff. That's good stuff right there.
It is. I haven't been sung to in so long.
Here's the story.
Them are serenades.
Here's the story. There was a group that was going to perform historical satanic black masses on the campus of Harvard.
Nice.
And they were going to do that. And 60,000 faculty, students, and community people signed a petition asking that didn't happen on at their university, because their university is a Catholic university. And apparently, specifically, there are rites in this black mass that are specifically blasphemous to the Catholic faith. And they released a statement basically saying, if you say that this isn't to make anybody mad, and you say that this isn't that, why would you hold it here? We're not saying don't do your thing, go do it somewhere else, but why would you come to our Catholic school and make fun of our Catholicism?
Right.
And so they asked them to move it off. The authorities in the school basically said, well, we can't do anything to stop them. The people then petitioned. Then they requested that they move it off campus. And apparently the latest is that they have moved it off campus.
Well, there you go.
So there you go.
Next up, the Batmobile. After months of casting news, Zack Snyder is almost ready to reveal another crucial element to the film he's directing, currently known as Superman Batman, the Batmobile. This afternoon, he tweeted a photo of the Batmobile covered with a tarp, promising to reveal the whole thing tomorrow, with the tweet that read, "Could be time to pull the tarp. Tomorrow? Question mark."
Really? So he's going to pull it today?
So he's going to pull it tomorrow. No. This was this
happened
afternoon.
This afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like tomorrow, if you are a follower of Zack Snyder's tweets, his Twitter stream, his tweetering, you will see the Batmobile.
I'll try to post a picture of it on our Facebook.
Good.
For those of you who are interested.
I'm interested. I think it's going to be a better movie.
For them's yuns who's interested.
I think it's be better than people think.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know.
I don't really have an opinion either way.
necessarily
Like,
know
I'm not
that.
excited about it.
I fall into just the disinterested category. Like, it's just so meh to me. Like, the Superman movie, Man of Steel, was just so kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And just kind of left me kind of like, eh.
Which is why I feel good about the Ben Affleck side of this.
Yeah.
He just doesn't make boring movies.
No.
Not anymore. I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't had some dogs. But.
I just think it's, AMC Mike and I were talking about it after our apparent argument about the movies. We were also talking
It was
about,
an actual argument. You actually said to her, it sucks that we like the same things.
And then we talked about what?
So then we talked about, we were talking about something else that I don't remember now.
Batman, Superman.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck.
Oh, we were talking about how interesting it was that how Marvel is getting so much right in their movies, and how DC can't get anything right in their movies, but DC is like knocking television out of the park.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's just
But
interesting.
always seems to have knocked.
And in addition, DC knocks all of their animation out of the park. Yeah. And Marvel can't really ever seem to get that right.
You know, I think somebody said something interesting, which one time they were talking about the DC versus Marvel movies, and they said Marvel makes movies, DC makes films, and the truth is it's harder to get a film right. And
Sure.
and that's true of comic books as well. Like Marvel makes the comic book versions of movies.
Yeah.
They keep it pretty light and action-oriented and kind of stick to certain archetypes, and it's a lot more complex with DC characters.
And DC characters are like, my dad died, and I was so totally right there when he was shot. Now I carry this baggage.
Right.
That's my Bruce Wayne. It's a pretty good impression. And then he becomes Batman.
Hey, I'm Darth Vader.
And then he becomes Batman, and he's like, my dad taught me to talk like this with my teeth grinding.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Last up, the Daredevil. Daredevil is going to be the first series leading up to the Defenders. That's going to be the Marvel comic TV shows on Netflix. But here's some interesting thing. We know that the delivery window for Daredevil, the first of these, is going to be 2015. It's going to be written and directed by Drew Goddard, who handled The Cabin in the Woods. But now Marvel Chief Creative Officer Joe Quesada, who was a big influence on the Daredevil comic book for many, many years, talked about the show and said that it's being envisioned not as a series of 13 television episodes, but rather as one long 13-hour movie. He said, quote, one of the advantages is really in the planning stage. It's easier to work with a smaller number of episodes than with a large number of episodes. And so in this case, we can sit and look at 13 episodes and plan it out as a single very large movie. It makes seeing the bigger picture easier. You can't deny there's going to be binge viewing, and then you know that there are going to be some Marvel fans that when this show premieres, they're going to go on Netflix and they're going to just sit there for 13 hours and watch the entire thing all the way through. So they are actually looking at the Netflix model and taking advantage of it and actually writing for it, which I think is brilliant.
I don't like Joe Quesada at all, except he was brilliant in Daredevil. His run on Daredevil was great.
Sure.
Other than that, he didn't do too much that I think was helpful in comic books.
Right.
But this is a good move.
Yeah.
This is a good idea because he's right. I know people that will not watch a show at all
until it
comes on Netflix, so they can binge watch.
Right.
They
Right,
enjoy
but for
that.
those people that don't like to binge watch, and I'm not saying that's particularly, I don't mind binge watching, but like that's got to be frustrating for someone who's going to be like, I'm going to watch an episode or two of this, and if it doesn't feel like it's an actual episode, that's going to be weird. Because
when are you going to feel comfortable enough to bow out for the night?
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting.
I don't know that he's saying. I mean, when I read the quote, I don't know that he's saying that there won't still be some sort of episodic nature, like breakpoints in the story.
But he's not saying there will be or won't be. Yeah. He's not really.
I don't know. I kind of felt like House of Cards was kind of like that. And so I never really felt like any particular break between episodes was better or worse than other breaks between episodes to bow out for the night,
Yeah, I felt that way about House of Cards too, but because they break it into episodes, like it's one big long story, but because it's broken into episodes, that's just when you pause.
Right.
You could pause anywhere. I guess like the big issue would be, I guess I mean, if maybe I'm not understanding AMC Mike right, but I think what she's saying is like, how do you know when you've gone far enough that you like it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, that's part of it too, but I mean, just for me anyway, I like after an hour, I like that little bit of, okay, this little bit is done.
So you're saying the worry is there will be no sort of mini resolution.
Yeah, I mean, do I have to watch another hour to
feel good about
to
something?
Feel, like it's okay to stop here, like I've completed part of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it is or isn't going to be that way. That's just when I read that, I was like, I don't, it's great for people who binge watch, but is it going to be okay for people who don't?
Right. There's no way to know.
No, there isn't. And his quote wasn't definitive either way on that. That's why I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. That is the end of the big news. So I guess in a minute or two, we'll be back.
Does this thing release straight to Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to go straight to Netflix. So.
Man, how long till that's just the only way people do things?
I don't know. It's coming.
Yeah. We're getting close.
Which part are you at?
I guess we're coming back in a minute.
We are going to come back in a minute.
Okay.
You're listening to Lights, Camera, Cleveland.
I'm good with it.
On Whoop FM 99.9.
Lights, Camera, Cleveland. And we're back.
You're listening to Lights, Camera, Cleveland.
Yeah, you are.
I am the Hollywood Slinky. Joining me, as always, today, Rob Alderman.
At least for today.
Also with us
I don't know if I keep inviting you to movies. AMC Mike has said I can't come back to the show.
Also with us is AMC Mike.
I am here.
So AMC Mike went to see a movie this past weekend with the Maison Sinister.
She raved about this one.
It was so good.
She saw a film called Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons.
Wacha, wacha, wacha. It was awesome.
Was it a Western?
It was a journey to the West.
I wouldn't go as far. I mean, it had some elements, yes, but more than anything, I have never successfully seen a movie that was a anime that was live action before this. I mean, like it straight up felt like an anime cartoon that people were just acting out.
Well, this movie is written and directed by Stephen Chow, who is famous for writing and directing a bunch of movies that are kind of like live action anime.
Right, but this was like over the top.
Shaolin Soccer,
Okay.
Kung Fu Hustle,
Okay.
CJ7. Seems like there's one more that I'm forgetting.
No, I think those are the three big ones that we would know.
And now Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons.
Okay.
I don't know that we can say that title without hitting that button.
Probably not. It was great. I went with Movie Todd and Lassiter's Brittany, and surprising the theater was not sold. I mean, it was full, but it was not packed out.
Really?
But maybe
Chris Dortch's golden throne is slipping.
No. I'm pretty sure it was because it was Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was surprised that, I thought of all of the movies, that he shows, like this one seemed to be like a
The
more
most
mainstream,
most accessible.
Yeah. So I think it was probably just because it was Mother's Day.
But
Saturday.
it was great. Like I'm going to own this movie.
Was it subtitled?
Yes.
Okay.
But all of his stuff is typically when it comes out on DVD, they dub it. So.
But my only complaint actually about the movie is that the subtitles were in white, not yellow. And so it was a little hard to read. And one of the characters talked really, really quickly. And apparently I can't read that fast.
So the words were flipping by.
And he was like the main character's mentor. So he was giving like the main character all of the pieces of the puzzle to go figure out. So I was like, I have no idea why he is going to go find the Monkey King, but he needs to for some reason because his mentor told him
Somebody's got to find the Monkey King.
Yeah.
So what is the movie about?
It is literally about conquering demons. It is about it is about someone who's becoming a monk who in this world there are demons.
Okay.
Demons?
You've
got demons?
Is the world like our world?
No, it's set more in like feudal Japan or I don't know.
Okay.
But like it starts off with there is a giant demon fish. And it is like
always the giant demon.
Oh my no! Like the entire audience like erupted like when you finally see it because it's cool looking, and it's there's all the aspects of like the goofy fun wackiness that he does in his other movies, but there is this like level of like a little bit of like scare, like it's a little scary. He's not afraid to make these demons scary. And do bad things because that's what demons do, and it was just great. I cannot rave enough about it. The animation, the computer animation was fun. It was fairly realistic. Because sometimes you cringe when you see like oh no, but this was really good and it was awesome and I had tons and tons of fun. I can't wait because coming up, they showed a preview for a movie called Wolf Cop.
I've been keeping my eyes on Wolf Cop.
Yeah, Wolf Cop's coming to MES.
Well, then I'm going to MES because I'm down with Wolf Cop.
Yeah, Wolf Cop is there, And they showed a couple other previews that looked really, really fun and exciting. So
awesome.
So what is the MES experience like these days?
Well, it was, I mean, you know, it wasn't, they didn't have a band this time. It
Okay.
was just the movie. And so I don't think that affected how many people were there. At least I hope not. I mean, you know, yay for local bands playing. I'm very good with that. But it just, you know, for me anyway, I go for the movie. So,
Right.
like, I was happy that there wasn't a band.
Is there
just 'cause it
usually
was-
a band now?
The few times before that I've gone, there was.
Okay, I've only been twice and there weren't bands, so I didn't know if they were usually.
It might be just if you
more,
can get one
the
or
more
not.
I see them on Facebook, the more it looks like they're usually bands, so I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't this time, but I don't know if that's what affected the attendance or not. But it was.
I think it's probably more likely that it was the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Yeah,
I think
most
a lot
likely.
of people were taking people
Yeah,
out.
but it was great. I was very, very happy and excited to be able to go see that. So.
Good.
Boom.
How'd movie Todd like it?
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Last Orders Brittany liked it too. We were all very excited
But
about
Movie
it.
Todd likes a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, I like I said, I've got some friends.
I mean that lovingly, though. I mean, like,
well, yeah, no, I think Movie Todd and AMC Mike and my buddy, like I was telling you about, my buddy Nathan, all like movies that like most people would consider bad, but they find the joy. Like there's a charm to the kitschiness, I think, for them. Like it's a genre. They like this genre. So I mean, who can judge art? You know, you like what you like.
I can judge art.
But I do think, that's what critique is. That's what critique is judging art. But I mean, you know, every subgenre has its thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I just espoused my love for overweight people wearing superhero costumes. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm saying is, you know, I was like, what's good? What's bad? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the majority of the stuff I've seen at MES hasn't been stuff I would consider to be good.
Fair. That's fair.
But there were plenty of people there that liked it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to like Wolf Cop. It'd be really hard. It'd be really hard for Wolf Cop. In fact, this one she just described sounds like something I would like.
Right. Well, I mean, if you liked any of his other stuff, if you like Kung Fu Hustle.
I liked Kung Fu Hustle.
You know, it's got a little bit more of a fantastical feel, which is ridiculous because Kung Fu Hustle
I was going to say
is pretty.
Kung Fu Hustle was
but,
pretty.
But this
fantastic.
feels like I said, it feels more like an anime. Like it's got that like, you know, it almost like at one point there is a wagon and the wagon almost looks steampunky.
Okay.
As it's going along.
Sure,
and
had
you're just-
some money behind this movie. Sounds
Yeah,
like.
absolutely it did.
That's good. I think that's part. Let me say this too: with when we talk about bad movies people like or that genre of movies, the B movie in general, right, are typically, and I like independent films, but typically the budgets on B movies aren't where they need to be to get you neither the acting nor the soundtrack nor the cinematography that would work even if the story's all right.
Right.
And I think there's something about people who love B movies that find charm in that. It's sort of like, I know people who can't stand Doctor Who because of the cheesy moments when the graphics and stuff aren't right.
Right.
Except for I forgive all that. You know, I acknowledge like that would be considered bad television. But I like the overarching story so much and the idea of the Doctor and what he's doing that I forgive. You know, there's some of those early David Tennant ones and Chris Eccleston ones, even during the reboot, if you will, where the graphics were ridiculous. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? They're just ridiculous. So I don't know. Now, speaking of live action anime, I do think it's important to talk about the explosion of the new Akira fan trailer.
Man,
online.
That's insane.
If that movie got made, I'm all in all the time. Have you seen that trailer yet, AMC
absolutely.
Mike? I was asking if AMC Mike had seen it.
I actually didn't watch the trailer. I saw that you tagged me in it. I didn't get a chance to pull it up.
She's not a fan of Akira.
I was introduced to Akira via the comic books, which are very different.
Yeah, I love
than
the
the
comics,
movie.
too.
And so when I was shown the movie, I was like, "This isn't the comic books,"
But it is.
But it wasn't.
It is and it's not.
It is and
Right.
it isn't. And so it just never clicked with me.
Mhm.
I just never was like that. This is the greatest
Sure.
thing ever.
I lucked out. You know what? This is one of those rare scenarios where it's actually better for you to discover the movie before the comics.
Yes.
Because the movie gets so discombobulated there at the end in particular that you have to love the beauty of it.
Right.
Like one of the things that I love was I was looking up reviews just for fun. I was kind of going down memory lane after this trailer came out. And one of the cool things was people were talking about the use of that odd techno jazz soundtrack through the whole movie that's
Right.
like its own character, and how incredible it is, and that it took other movies, live action movies, years to catch up to that.
Right.
Like Katsuhiro Otomo like blew it out of the water with that soundtrack, and it never lets up. And so that kind of the brutality and the idea of Neo Tokyo, it captures just like the comic books does, but the sprawling storyline, it just can't.
Right.
It would have had to have been like 4 movies in order for that to work. So, that's one of those things where, as a kid, seeing it for the first time blew my mind right as the movie. And if I had read the comic books first, I don't know that it would have.
Yeah. And this trailer is just, they were just doing basically shot-for-shot images from the cartoon remade as live action, and it stars Osric Chow, the guy who played Kevin Tran, the Prophet on Supernatural, which is kind of fun. Supernatural, and I don't know, it looked fantastic.
I couldn't believe how dead on the casting was.
Yeah.
As I looked at it, I thought these really are. Now, that's one thing that the comic and the comic and the movie do share. That the art is the same.
Right.
And the movie is the book come to life. The
Yeah.
book is the movie on flat paper. Like it is, like the characters are the same. You're just seeing them in a very different story. Like
Yeah.
you're seeing a very different timeline.
Yep.
But the essence of who they are. And what I liked about this fan trailer, which when we talk about it being a fan trailer, I mean these guys raised like 15 or 20 grand to make this 4 minutes.
Right.
So when I say it's good, I mean it's as good as any movie trailer you're going to see this year.
Yeah, it's pretty
for
awesome.
a big budget movie, right?
It's pretty awesome.
And I loved how in their project they said, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Hollywood to get their act together, and we just thought we'd finally give the fans something they want. Right? And that's why that's why Kickstarter and Indiegogo and these things exist.
Yep.
Is so that we can have what we want. And I want to echo what it seems like the whole internet is saying, which is we want this.
Right.
Where
is this?
You turn this into a movie, and we're ready to
We're
go.
all there.
We're ready to make it #1 at the box office for a long time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I couldn't believe that they were able to recreate Kaneda's bike.
Yeah, the
like
whole thing
that.
looked great. The whole
It
thing
was
just looked
unbelievable. Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
it was
unbelievable.
Canada.
Depends on. You know what? I'll tell you funny. Here's the third version of that. Is this? I was introduced to the movie via the Japanese Laserdisc with subtitles. So Kaneda is the way that they said it in the original
Right,
Japanese
yeah.
version, and so I never got around to calling it Canada. So that's funny? You know what I mean? Again, like you were saying, you got introduced to it by a comic book and then the movie. I got introduced to it actually by Japanese Laserdisc, then comic book, then American version.
I did catch though that they do say they do un-Americanize Akira though. They say Akira.
Nice.
In this trailer.
Good.
So I did catch that. So.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
there you go.
All right. Well, we are going to be right back for our last segment,
Sure.
which is actually going to be 2 special segments. But you're going to not want to go away for it. We're going to be right back here on
Lights,
on Lights,
Camera, Cleveland.
I'm Casey Kasem.
How many things are we gonna hit before we go to commercial?
I will be right back.
We'll be right back.
I don't
time it is, Slinky. We're back.
We are back. You're listening to Lights, Camera, Cleveland on Whoop FM 99.9. It's time for a very special segment.
Really, what's it called?
Travis Beecham says.
That's right. This week on Twitter, local celebrity screenwriter Travis Beecham said,
"Dispatches from the upfronts. At Carolyn Ford tried to kill me with juice."
And that's
Travis Beecham says.
We had to.
I kind of missed the reverb we used to have on that. We used to have some reverb on there.
We'll see if we can.
We'll try to find us some reverb for next show. You know,
it was hard enough. I've been working on
Travis Beecham juice.
I've been working on downloading that all day.
I like it. I like all these new things you've got on your computers.
Yeah.
On your internets.
On the interwebs.
Your interwebs.
Well, alrighty then.
I like it.
I have a dramatic cliffhanger sound too.
Can I hear it? That was pretty good.
I like that one.
You ready?
That one.
Wait, cue it up. Cue it up. Are you ready?
Okay.
This week, Slinky decides to tell AMC Mike that it's a shame that they like the same movies. Yeah, see, that's good. See, if that music had played back when you were actually having the thought to say that to her, you might not have said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but instead, you know what music I was hearing?
AMC Mike, I've been just thinking, I mean, it's not really a bad thing. It's not a bad thing when I say this, but sometimes it really bothers me that we like the same things. I mean, it's cool because we can talk about them, but at the same time, that means we talk about them. And here, as we ride in this car, I've just been thinking, I wish we liked different things, AMC Mike. Different things. Different things.
Don't go, David.
All right, let's go back to the show.
I love that David Banner theme. We're going to use that every show for sure.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, play it again one more time.
Brace yourself.
Are you ready? Play that David Banner for me one more time. Hey guys, I'm Darth Vader and I love movies. Hey, I'm Darth Vader and I love movies. That's all I needed.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Where is he? He's on a journey. You know, him and
I'm
Hulk.
Casey Kasem. Well, now we're up to the #1 song in the land, and our look back at 4 amazing decades, counting them down. The countdown began on the 4th of July, 1970. It was an idea that my partner Don Bastani and I came up with. Our first show took more than 18 hours to record. And at first, we only had 7 stations. But Don and I believed, and so did a growing number of listeners. Back then, there were no long-distance dedications on the show. That didn't come along until 1978, when Matt Wilson located one in the mail.
Really just kind of changes your perspective on things. Man.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. It's time for the preview review.
That's right. This is the part of the show where we have scoured the internet and watched all the trailers, all the previews, all the commercials, read the articles. We've done everything we can except see these movies in order to tell you whether or not you should see these movies.
That's right.
Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't do it.
We are professionals.
Indeed. What's up first?
That's my badum-cha.
I'm for
our professionalism.
Yeah, no, I'm for
there. Yeah. First up, $1 Million Arm. This is starring John Hamm, who is, of course, the lead from Mad Men, and Alan Arkin, and a bunch of people from the Middle East.
Yeah, India.
Who are all new to acting. It's about a sports agent.
Isn't there also the one comedian? What's his name?
Alan Arkin?
No.
John Hamm.
Okay, never mind.
Alan Arkin?
I don't know. I just saw I just saw the preview and I don't remember a comedian in it, but it probably is.
Okay, I don't remember his name, so.
I'm Casey Kasem.
You know, I hate that that's so funny because it's so awful.
It is awful.
Like, it's tragic. I feel bad.
Sure, you should. You should feel terrible. I'm trying to look this up because I want to know who the comedian is in $1 Million Arm.
So, this is about John Hamm, who plays a sports agent, staging an unconventional recruitment strategy to get talented Indian cricket players to come to America and play Major League Baseball.
No, but it does have Bill Paxton.
No.
Hail Hydra.
So, I just thought I'd say that.
I don't know what his name is, so I.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying when you look at the main amount of the cast, I don't see the comedian. I only see a bunch of people I don't know, and then Alan Arkin, and then I was like, but there must be someone else, and it turned out that the someone else was Bill Paxton.
Well, there you go.
The new movie needs somebody to say, "You'll never make it." So yeah, it's a movie about a baseball agent whose career is almost washed up, and he's got to go find a great arm for the major leagues.
That's right. And so he goes to India to find cricket players.
Yeah.
Does he end up with 2 or 3? He's got a
3.
I think that this movie surprisingly looks good. I don't normally like sport movies, and while I understand baseball, I don't understand cricket at all. Besides that, there's like a weird bat, and there is a ball involved somehow. But it looks like it's got a lot of heart. And it looks like it's got a lot of heart that Disney movies haven't had recently. So I think it looks adorable, and so I'm grading it.
I'm going to mimic what AMC Mike said. I think the movie looks delightful. You can put this in that Angels in the Outfield sort of a Mighty Ducks sort of a genre for me. And I just say genre, the sports movie with heart that's safe for kids. This one's not like little kids like Mighty Ducks was, but it's not older people, like this is Disney's response to all of these behind the scenes movies that have been coming out for sports. You had Moneyball. Now you've got this Signing Day, right, with Kevin Costner.
Right.
Now you're going to have $1 Million Arm. And the thing is, I like those kind of films.
Draft Day.
That's it. I like those kind of movies in general. I like to see the story behind the story. But apparently when I see this trailer, I like it even more so when it's Disneyfied.
Right.
I like it even more so when it's cute and nice and seems to be kind. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I give it a definite grade. I think John Hamm's quite a good actor. I think he's really versatile.
I think it's interesting.
He's do a good job.
I think it's interesting that John Hamm's first real big leading man role in Hollywood after Mad Men is going to be a Disney film, a la Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
That's kind of
it does show kind of, he signed such a long contract with that. And when you see him do little bit parts outside of it, you really get the sense, man, John Hamm can do a lot more.
Right.
And so I think this is just what he's been waiting to do.
Maybe
it doesn't seem odd. It's interesting for sure. It's not odd, especially like when you see him on Saturday Night Live or some of these other things and you realize, well, this is a funny guy with a lot of heart who seems to be a really nice dude.
Right.
He's probably sick and tired of Mad Men.
Maybe so.
At this point,
Maybe
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
What
about you?
I got to be honest, this one just looks a little too Disney-fied for me. But my fear is that Disney feel is in the marketing and not in the film. There's something about the marketing that's just a little too cutesy. Something about it, just the logo that they use, the way they put the Disney logo right up front with it and everything. It just almost feels like a little too, I don't know.
They definitely want you to know it's been Disney.
Yeah,
this is definitely Angels in the Outfield. Disney's Angels in the Outfield.
Right. It's like, look, it's Operation Dumbo Drop. I don't know.
I hope it's not that.
I hope it's the marketing though. But for that reason, it doesn't do it for me. And I don't need another baseball movie. I've got The Natural. I've got other
I think
baseball.
though this isn't that. Like, I guess I get the opposite feeling. I don't think it's a baseball movie. I think it's a love story.
Maybe.
And I think it's a story about a bunch of kids who have to come to America and find their way.
Maybe.
Yeah, more of a coming of age.
A coming of age and a learning to love movie, and less of a baseball's the vehicle that's going to get you there.
Maybe. I don't know, but not for me. I'm gonna hate it, but not by much, just a little bit.
Sure.
All right, and last but not least, which implies we had a bigger list than 2, but we didn't. This is the big one this week. Gojira.
This one is big enough that I think we can say that.
This one is so big. This is so big.
How big is it?
It's dinosaur roar big.
No.
That was a pathetic dinosaur.
Yeah, that was like Dakota.
That was.
Dinosaur.
Hey, I'm Darth Vader and I like movies.
I should have just said big.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Godzilla. This one stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, Bryan Cranston, and Ken Watanabe. The world's most famous monster is put against malevolent creatures who, bolstered by humanity's scientific arrogance, threaten our very existence. Rob.
Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun.
Gojira.
I give it 1,000,000 greats. I'm ready for this, and I love what I've seen so far. The trailers have been really, really, really good, and I'm looking forward to a movie I'm not expecting much from.
Right.
It can only exceed my expectations.
That's fair. That's
like
fair.
The hero is a gigantic monster. So, there's not much to it, and I remember liking movies like that when I was little. So I'll tell you this, I have been pleased that the trailers, so this is not a spoiler, the trailers have since gone on to show that all the death and destruction that you saw in the original trailer wasn't Godzilla.
Right.
Because that wasn't the Godzilla. That was the only problem I had was in the first trailer that came out feeling like, wait a minute, why are we fighting against Godzilla? You
I
see
think
what I'm
in
saying?
one of the some of the early Godzilla movies, we fight Godzilla, but mostly Godzilla comes to save us from Mothra.
Mostly Godzilla comes to save us from whatever else they can create.
Mecha Godzilla.
And then we have to worry about the fact that in his fighting, a lot of people are going to die.
Right.
But not as many as if we just let Mothra eat us all.
Right.
So I'm glad that they've introduced Mothra as like the main villain so that we can get behind Godzilla.
Yeah. So you're great.
Great.
AMC Mike?
I think that there is nothing bad in these trailers and nothing bad in anything I've read or seen about the movie.
I know, right?
Even like the poster is just powerful looking.
That very first teaser trailer where it was nothing but the dudes falling through the sky,
Right.
I was like, wait the heck up. I'm ready.
Yeah, they're saying that scene is knockout. I'm great in this too, obviously, but the one thing I want to point out for folks listening, if you go see this, is I read an article this morning about how there's a very interesting directorial decision in this, in that they don't show you Godzilla directly until the climax of the movie. And so it is, first of all, as a viewer, a little bit frustrating because you feel like every time there's Godzilla action, the camera cuts away, and instead, like, the Godzilla action is just like on a news TV station that's
Or
on
a
in the
tail
background
knocking something over, right?
whatever. And so you're not seeing it directly. And that at first, through the first like 2/3 of the movie, it's frustrating because you feel like, I want to be seeing that stuff. And yet the whole thing is masterminded in such a way that it's set up so that when they actually pull out Godzilla, like, it is so worth the wait that you're like, holy cow, oh my gosh. So I'm going to grade this one. And that's it. That brings us to a wrap.
Until next time, I'm Rob, and I love movies.
I'm the Hollywood Slinky, and I love movies.
I'm AMC Mike, and I love movies.
Let's all love movies together. This was a good choice here.
I got to see the mark.
There you go. We'll be right back. No, we won't. We'll see you next week.
Any old time, do it online. Just stay in the house and grab your mouse. Do a quick click from home. Get your money overnight at the right website. Do a quick click from home. Go to checkandcash.com.